What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey back with another Chris Watts video, and this one is extra special because I've never heard of this. It is information from I'm not going to give the name away. It's an evidence and records supervisor at Frederick PD. This is in June of 2020 regarding the Watts case discovery and other evidence. I really want to watch this. So this is Chris Watts, Frederick PD answers our questions, raw audio from a YouTube channel, True Psych Ward. I want to get into this as fast as possible. So grab a chair, get comfortable. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Wokey myself has posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you so much for that love and support that you guys continuously show. Hopefully one day we'll hit that 100K goal. But until that time, we're going to keep grinding and grinding and grinding. And then make sure you guys go over to True Psych Ward. Go give her some love. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. You know the deal. And with that being said, let's get into this video. The ward with...
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning
The ward with Dr. B. Is she a real doctor?
in. This is Dr. B. I wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about some of the information that we have in the Chris Watts case that we've been kind of holding on to for a while because we weren't sure whether or not it would even matter if we released this recording or not.
Okay.
But with everything that's been going on and all the rumors and the misinformation,
This was back in 2020 that this was released. And yet there's people that want to sit there and tell me that I am obsessed. There's people that are still working on this case 7 years later.
maybe it would be best to just put what we have out there and for you guys to know exactly what we've been told coming from the horse's mouth, basically.
Which we want to hear.
As you all know, last June, end of June, we took a trip to Frederick, Colorado for the files that we requested. There's a whole backstory to it that I really don't feel the need to go into.
Okay.
But regardless, once we were in Frederick, we went to the Frederick Police Department to pick up the...
Oh, look at all these. 2018 Homicide Investigation Police Service citations. Dave Baumhover. Detective, I should say. I'm looking for the other names. Caitlin's. Interesting. Look at the bottom. Records, evidence, supervisor. All right here. Amanda Purcell. Justice for Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico. Wow. So this was all the people that probably were involved?
records that we requested. And while we were there, we had a conversation with Amanda Purcell, who is the evidence supervisor. And you can see her name all throughout the discovery. So we got an opportunity to ask her a couple of questions, and it was pretty much a little bit overwhelming just being there too. So if at some points during this recording we sound scrambled, that's because we were. The point is that some of the questions that we did ask I thought were important, specifically about the phone records and the fingerprints and things like that. So
I'm guessing this is probably the room where Chris Watts was in.
So in an effort to cut down on all the rumors and all the lies that have been going around in this case and the uncertainties that have been going on in this case, I thought that this recording will help put some of that to rest, but also help us maybe understand a little bit better why we don't have some of the answers that we should have. And who our questions should be directed to. I tried to transcribe the conversation as accurately as I could, but there are some points where it's a little bit difficult to hear, but I think you're going to get the whole gist. Enough talk. Let's get right into it.
They moved the table.
All right, so let me explain about this. It goes in chronological order. So we start with the offense, and it goes through like all the documents that go with the offense, the steps, all the docs that go with the steps, all the way through the end. And then here, we end up being
On a terabyte drive. So they also didn't have any 100, which were.
So we end up putting a large terabyte drive for you.
Do they know that this woman recorded it? Because it sounds like she's got a recorder underneath like her shirt or something.
We also didn't have any 100 gigabyte Blu-ray discs, which were the only CDs big enough to put everything on for you, and they weren't going to be here in time because I had one, and I couldn't put them on normal CDs because they're too big.
So they normally store their stuff on CDs, but they couldn't because it was too big, so they had to put it on terabyte drives.
So we ended up finding with terabyte hard drive, figured it'd be easier, a little bit more portable too. That way the CDs don't get scratched or whatever. And everything that we have, body cam, everything is all on here. It is redacted to protect like witness identity, so we took out like date of birth, phone number, addresses, and things like that. Like that letter that the chief and the DA wrote for me to give to you, phone numbers are not included in that, because they said it was all released, what was able to be released was in the discovery, and they won't touch it.
So, yeah, I read that, and that was a bit vague, like, it did say, that it's to whatever, public interest. But, and then I read the statutes that they, referenced, and I thought I read that they have to be more specific. And so then I read through our emails again, and I remember you saying, like, the recovery wouldn't be included because that would be too gruesome.
Right.
So that's specific, but I didn't get that from them, so, how do I appeal that? Like, what would?
Okay. So you have to contact the district attorney's office because it wasn't.
And you're going to get denied. Wow.
Making the request that we're not releasing it for the statute. It was my understanding that it was because they had redacted what was considered private. So she had lots of conversations with her friends and families that had absolutely nothing to do with the case. And so since I don't have an informant that's legible, but they do, they were not going to give me the format.
So they're picking and choosing basically. So are they the custodians of the records? Like, who's the official custodian?
Depends on you. I'm official for everything that's private. Longmont, so like if there's a Longmont report, we don't have it.
Right.
Because, and so they are.
But when I contacted Longmont and asked them, they only included, they emailed me back and said that they had one report and the report was included in the discovery, and said the rest of their files are with you.
So they only have the one report. They didn't actually participate with anything except for us using their marker. So that was it. They only had one. So
Then, like, I was gonna ask with, the custodian thing, so, so the phone dumps, like, were requested by your agency, by you. So, and they were returned to Detective Baumhofer based on his warrant.
right.
So how then is the DA the custodian of those?
Because we all report to the DA.
So he's,
So they basically are the umbrella that oversees all of us, and they are the ones who interpret the statute for us.
so you're doing what they tell you to
Yes.
do? Of course. Okay.
Right.
We're here because, like, there's so many questions, and, so yeah, that's the truth. So I don't know, thank you. And I guess we'll try to take it up with the DA.
The answers.
Do you have any?
I am sorry.
No,
I know it's difficult because you're following, what you're being told to do. I'm bound by what I'm allowed to do, so I understand. It's a frustrating situation all the way around. I mean, I was here. Obviously, you see my name. I've written reports for it, so.
Yeah, you're my, like, hero in here. So, like, let me sign the name.
I'm sorry. So it is frustrating all the way around because obviously we're all bound by what we're allowed to do. And I know that can be sometimes a giant loophole. And I do apologize that it works out that way sometimes, but everything that I was able to give you, I gave you.
Okay.
So, and I redacted as little as possible that would allow me to be within the statute, but I'm not gonna give you a black pages. So.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
I just think it's interesting with the phone records. The phone records.
With this case and with everything afterwards that happened, I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to follow everything. I didn't mean to interrupt. So, okay, so she was saying that there's some phone records that because there's friends and family on even though that's already in there.
Yeah.
We already know that.
We already have all the friends and family for months.
So, the DA's office, so they gave us, how it worked is like the phone numbers, yes, they ended up returning them to us, but the agency that initiated it was actually not us. It was
CBI.
And so, it's kind of tricky with how they're wording.
It doesn't make sense.
And you see how they're saying it. Like, we assisted, so we gave everything to the DA's office.
No, they said they give it to you.
I know.
So yeah.
So it sounds like they went to Longmount and then Frederick. Both are giving each other, this person, the ring around. It sounds like the custodian of all this evidence is the DA. Or the DA's office, as you will. So there is a lot more information, but they're hiding it.
Everything to the DA's office because they don't report to us. We're not their boss.
Right.
They assisted us, but everything that they had, they gave to the DA's office. And so, how the DA's office released it is entirely up to them. We don't have it.
I have another question. Okay, now the phone records aside, there's a report by the state crime lab that there were some Latin prints that they didn't identify. So they put someone on the crime scene and just left it like.
Crime lab. So they put someone on the crime scene and just left it hanging in the air.
Hanging in the air. Would that be like the follow-up report to the prints that they took from Chris later on?
That should all be in here.
Perfect.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
So, now I don't know if it's the same report, but there is a report in here that references that they were testing, but they stopped testing because he took a plea deal.
Oh my gosh! So in the middle of them actually testing all the evidence, because he took a plea deal, it was completely actually sliced off.
So they wouldn't.
Same report, I'm just saying there is one.
There's one there that
so
says that.
Okay.
So, wow.
So
well, okay, we're gonna just go through this now. Thank you so much. Are you forgetting? I'm so overwhelmed.
I mean, of course I have a million questions, but there's only so much.
There's another, so like since I'm here now, like I'm obviously like looking and everything, and so there's like cameras on every light. Would they have pulled that and it's not in here? Or
They don't belong to the town. They belong to Colorado Department of Transportation.
So that would be something CBI maybe?
Or CDOT. Oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
The cameras on the light posts.
I don't think it was an avenue we ever went down now.
I don't think it was an avenue we ever went down, no.
That's insane.
So, okay, so when Chris pled guilty, every test, all the testing just stopped, like we're good with that.
The state funding stops or something.
Yeah, so they're not going to pay, if they took a plea deal and it's not going to trial, they're not going to pay for testing.
They're not going to pay if they took plea deal.
I see what you
Because it's
mean.
not, they don't need it.
Right.
It's done.
Exactly.
Closed. So I have,
And I
sorry.
think there's evidence in the creator, right?
No. That was like something in the report that was like outrageous. That makes no sense. I mean, actually, let me ask you, because yeah, like one of
I can't
the.
remember because I know I was like, what?
One of the reports said something about we have these DNA samples, but they will be destroyed after 120 days.
What? The DNA samples will be destroyed?
Or something like that. I was like, that makes no sense. I'll have to.
That shouldn't have been a Frederick report, because I'm
No, I don't
making
think so.
evidence too.
Yeah.
No, it was something at the crime lab, I think.
I think it was a
Yeah, at the crime lab.
Yeah, you had to direct that to CBI. I don't know anything about their policy or procedure, so.
It's very interesting to me, like all of this is, because it's basically in theory you could have 4 people there, and if one pleads guilty, the testing's done.
No.
No,
So
that's
if
not how
there's
it is.
multiple defendants, like if there's multiple people that they believe are guilty of the crime, just because one pleads does not mean that case goes away.
Right.
So since there is only one defendant
She said it right there.
and he pled,
Right,
they stopped testing.
They stopped testing him.
So his case is done,
right.
and that's why all the testing for his case was done.
I understand, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
So that was our conversation with Amanda. Obviously, the transcript, like I said, might not be super accurate, but I'm pretty sure that you get the gist. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, and you can also reach out via email or via Facebook, whatever floats your boat. Hopefully this will answer some questions. I know that it confused us at first, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Thanks for listening.
Oh my gosh. So it reads, whether it's part of procedure to destroy DNA evidence depends on the specific circumstances of the case and the jurisdiction laws and regulation. In general, biological evidence, including DNA evidence, is retained for varying periods depending on the factors like case status. For example, evidence from an unsolved homicide might be retained indefinitely, while a misdemeanor case might have a shorter retention period. Conviction status: if the defendant is convicted and the convicted is finalized with all appeals exhausted, the evidence might be subject to destruction after notice is given to the defendant and they don't request testing with a specific time frame. So with his conviction, they probably destroyed a lot of the evidence. Type of offense: certain serious offenses like homicide or blank assault may have no longer retention periods, sometimes lasting until the defendant's death or release from supervision, when DNA evidence might be destroyed. After conviction and exhausted appeals, like we just talked about. Once a conviction is final and the defendant has no remaining legal avenues for review, which technically Chris Watts has no avenue for review or a way to get out an appeal, and after proper notification to the defendant, the evidence might be destroyed if no motion for DNA testing is filed. If retention is impractical, if the evidence is bulky or difficult to store, reasonable measures might be taken to preserve portions of DNA evidence for potential future testing before destruction of the original item. So I'm guessing in the case of Brian Koberger, when the big, huge part of the evidence, aka the house, they got what they wanted out of it and then destroyed it. Return to owner. If the evidence is property that needs to be returned to its owner and no further forensic value is anticipated, according to Congress.gov, it may be disposed. Restriction, regulations, and penalties are right there. So it could be a whole fact that the evidence that was received, DNA, hair, fingerprints, might have been completely destroyed. And it seems like, too, we weren't able to get a lot of information. Bless these women's souls for going there. It sounded like a couple of them. trying to get some information about why we can't get this, why we can't get that. It's just a ring around. It's just, they closed it way too fast. It doesn't make sense. And they're just telling us at home, it is what it is. When is that phrase okay? I hate hearing that. It is what it is. It isn't what it isn't. I think that's so messed up. So they're literally saying, okay, we got Chris. We're not going to pursue Nichol because the evidence has been destroyed. They have a terabyte, but when she said on there, she redacted little, but I guarantee it was a lot. Wow. So there might not be the DNA evidence that was retrieved is gone. So you would have to physically now go after NK, either subpoena her for an interview, like she just said. The case with Chris Watts is done, but the case with NK hasn't even begun. She's a whole nother defendant. So Chris Watts' case is done. Now they need to go after Nichol. This video opens up a Pandora's box of information. These women are fantastic. And again, the channel is True Psych Ward. And it seems like they were fact checking. They were going through trying to dot their I's and cross their T's. And they were stopped with a roadblock where the evidence was taken away. Wow. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. I'm not done with the Watts case. I still feel that there's things there that we can find, but it's very, very hard. There's a lot of things that have been redundantly given over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Trust me. There's a lot of the times I'm like, I don't want to watch this again, but I watch it because there's something in here. And this was sent to me, this video was sent to me by a viewer, subscriber, fan, and said, please react. And I'm glad I did. But I would surely love to know your guys' thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends, and of course, again, go over to their channel, subscribe, comment, like, and share. We will see you guys in the next one. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next one.